And now, Bob, the next location, Coventry. Where we are? Tuscany Pizza. Does it taste nice? Let's find out.
All I want to know is, does it taste nice?
Tuscany Pizza, good afternoon. As you can tell, it's the great British winter. It's dark early around here. But let's talk about menu choices and value for money, yeah? They live up to expectations. They do exactly what they need to do. I really like the kind of clean, crisp orientation of the menu, the way they formulated the menu, very clear, very straight to the point. You've got lasagnas in there, you've got your pizzas, you've got milkshakes, side orders. The menu choices are sufficient. They're very good, very good. So we ordered the Tuscany Pizza special. Obviously that came with the pepperoni, salami, spicy beef, mushrooms, chicken, all of that, yeah? And we had that stuffed. So it was £9.50 for the pizza, plus the stuffed crust, another £2, yeah? And then we went for the chicken fillet wrap in a meal, that was £5.99. And then we went for the Kinder Bueno and Snicker milkshake, £4.49. And all in all, we're looking at £21.98. Our maths is on job. So let's talk about value for money. When I took out the measurement tape to carry out the standardized test, the measurements, the geometric equations, Tuscany Pizza, I would say they passed the test. It was a decent amount of food. Obviously, when we look at the pizza, it maintained a good circular motion, and obviously the milkshake's the milkshake. When we look at the wrap maintained a decent depth. I think it could have probably held more density, but yeah, as a whole, the value for money, it was decent. So many choices and value for money. Tuscany Pizza, I'm giving you a solid 8 out of 10. I think prices could potentially drop here and there, but as a whole, you get what you pay for. It's a decent price and a decent amount of food. Before we eat, let's pray. When Moses came back down from Mount Sinai with the 10 Commandments, he asked one simple question: does it taste nice? Funny Francis said, let's hit the belly and find out. Talking said, it's dinner time. So let's move on to first bite and overall taste. Let's start with the pizza. It had its ups and its downs. I mean, let's talk about the stuffed crust first, because there was a moment during the eating process where the stuffed crust was hollow, like hollow man, like Joe Grimes, SN1. They get me, it was a mad thing.
This one's a bit hollow. They ran out of cheese on this one.
I don't know what happened with the cheese there, probably disintegrated, evaporated. So I have to highlight that obviously the cheese distribution wasn't really sufficient enough in the stuffed crust. There was a lot of oil concentration in the stuffed crust. I could really squeeze out the oil. So that's another thing that you guys need to really pay attention to as well.
Stuffed crust a bit oily.
Obviously, when we talk about the actual main component of the pizza, you know what it is? When you take the first bite, you're greeted with a kind of stodgy kind of taste that you get from the dough, and then you get the saltiness from the pepperoni, the salami, the chicken, and obviously the kind of zingy, tangy, pizza-based tomato sauce that they put on there. But those flavors that I've just mentioned, there's no distinction between them. It's kind of a bland kind of overall taste. So I really had to highlight that as well. The components of the fresh vegetables added another dimension, a good little crunch, a little soft crunch, because it was cooked in the griller thing. So yeah, that was the pizza as a whole. It wasn't the best, but it was far from the worst. Obviously, you lot need to even out your distribution, so it's less hollow man and more filler man, because the stuffed crust was a mad thing. When we move on to the wrap, this is where the thing starts going uphill. They're doing the incline bench press. They're going uphill, my brother, because they what? The tortilla wrap itself is a good quality tortilla wrap. The consistency of the flour in the wrap is decent, it's decent. When we talk about the meat in there, obviously it was a fillet that was like seasoned. The infusion of the flavors was serious. It was more than skin deep. It was penetrated.
So it's some special Tuscany sauce, yeah?
So yeah, the flavors on that were nice. I think it was a subtle taste of curry, a little curry powder kind of taste, a bit of a little peppery kind of taste, but it wasn't too overpowering. When you incorporate that with the cheese that you put on there, with the tomatoes, the gherkins, and the peppers, it added a nice little dimension to it. And I think the fact that he toasted it again after putting the cheese on it, it added another little nice little kind of caramelized, smooth internal taste. So the wrap was very nice, very nice. I was really impressed with the wrap. When we talk about the chips, you lot are slacking with the chips. Look, I held up one of the chips and he displayed no backbone. This chip reminded me of the parents in Tesco's that are getting badded up by the youths and that, getting badded up by their sons and daughters. It had no backbone, you get me? It wasn't standing tall like a World War II veteran. It was limping like the hunchback of Notre Dame. What are you dealing with, my brother? You're not on job with the chips. My man got a limp and it's standing tall against the man then. Obviously, the chips had a little sodium chloride little aftertaste because my man dashed salt on there. But other than that, the chips weren't standing tall. They weren't maintaining the outer crunch. The saturation was there, so my heart was clogging up after every bite. Obviously, lucky the hospital's just down the road. But yeah, as a whole, the chips were dead. The pizza was kind of dead, but the wrap was very nice. When we talk about the milkshake, obviously I could barely suck that. The milkshake was kind of thick. I think my boss man needed to blend it a bit more, so the absorption process into the mouth could have been a bit more easier, because the swallowing process on that was a bit mad, because man was trying to suck it like the Dyson Hoover engine, and man was running out of suction power. So, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. So first bite and overall taste, I'm giving you guys 7 out of 10. Because look, your chips should be standing tall like the Eiffel Tower, but they're limping right now, and it's a mad thing. And obviously the ingredients on your pizza need to be better, because other than the dough, everything else is nothing stands out, you get me? And obviously now, you're on Torino with the wrap, so keep up with the wrap. But overall, first bite and overall taste, 7 out of 10. It's mediocre. So let's move on to cleanliness and customer service. It was a relatively clean place. When you first walk in there, the tables are clean. It's got a nice, refreshing feel to it. The man them in their uniforms, they're clean as well. When we talk about the back area, when I look in the fridges, everything's where it needs to be. There's nothing in stage 3 of decomposition in the fridges. So that was a good sign, that was very good. I think the floor wasn't as clean as it could have been. Obviously, I got on my hands and knees and I did the analysis, and there was a bit of an array of dirt here and there, but the floor's the floor. I didn't see no mold anywhere. So yeah, fresh ingredients, that was good. Everything was relatively clean. When we move on to customer service, boss man was moving a bit hoodlum. When he came out, he spotted me. I was a bit taken off guard by that. But it shows another element of nice little cultural understanding of the thing. Because obviously we were in the hood, so he thought, let me spot my man and show love and appreciation. So yeah, I can appreciate that. The customer service was on job. Obviously, every now and again, boss man asked me if everything was okay. And yeah, he tried his best to make sure my needs were attended to. So yeah, as a whole, cleanliness and customer service, it was satisfactory. It was good. So cleanliness and customer service, Tuscany Pizza, I'm giving you a solid 8 out of 10. Because look, I really like the kind of homely atmosphere in Tuscany Pizza, and it's very clean and very comfortable for me to sit down and really eat in peace and harmony, like Fifth Harmony, the dance group, the girl then. So yeah, cleanliness and customer service, 8 out of 10. Solid score. So let's look at the overall scores. System error, what are you talking about? So boom, Tuscany Pizza scored 23 out of 30. Now look, that's decent, that's mid-table. That's Everton, that's Wolves, that's Arsenal, that's Tottenham. It's okay. You're not getting relegated anytime soon, but I don't think you're going to win the Champions League anytime soon either. It's a bad thing. So I know what you're asking. We've reached the part of the show where you want to know, does it taste nice? And my answer is, I'm not quite sure, you know. I think it depends on what you order. Obviously, they call themselves Tuscany Pizza, the best pizza in town. These men are liars, like David Cameron, because they're far from the best pizza in town. But if you was to order the wrap, that is a very good wrap. So it's hard to really put my finger on it. I mean, as a whole, the food is okay, not the best, far from the worst. It depends on what you order. It's a nice, clean environment. I can sit down in peace without having to go 12 rounds with the cockroaches. So props to you for that. I mean, obviously, this ain't really a place where you're gonna really bring your gal. Obviously, you probably order on the Just Eat Uber Eats when you and your gal are tucked up in bed on a little hibernation thing for the winter, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, as a whole, the staff are friendly. It's a good little vibe, good little atmosphere. So yeah, it is what it is. It's a mad thing.
Then, bro. We're saying you're good, you're good.
Long time no see, my brother.
Long time no see, my brother.